Look at what they're doing to him. He's done nothing but try to comply. What the hell's going on in our country? Look at his ankles. Why are you doing that to him? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pigs around him, and this pig has to be on top of him.
If we take these off, are you going to cause a problem? Are you going to kick any windows out, anything like that? I don't answer questions.
No, you have to say, I plead the Fifth Amendment. I don't answer questions, don't work. Don Andre Investigations is in here. What's up, Playboy? I told you yesterday, Don Andre, that I was going to cover your channel today. I meant it. You are literally, quite possibly, the best investigative journalist on all of YouTube. So thank you for your service, sir. I appreciate it.
During his lunch break, suddenly, out of nowhere, multiple Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies surrounded his vehicle and demanded that he get out of his car. Completely caught off guard, Mr. Williams requested that the deputies explain why he needed to get out of the vehicle. Instead of explaining anything to him, Deputy Bruno de Oliveira and Deputy Alexander Tavalli forced their way into Mr. Williams' vehicle and removed him from the vehicle.
You live around here?
Hey, don't touch,
bro. Relax. Hey, you match the description of somebody, okay, that just committed a burglary in the area?
Because you're black? It's a fair question.
You're on camera, so don't worry.
You're on camera, so don't worry. Put a 1 in the chat if you should be worried when a bunch of jackboot thug pigs surround your car. Great interview, Don Andre Investigations. Great job, dude.
Is your body cam on?
It's on.
Yes,
it's on.
What's step on out, dude?
We'll explain everything to you, okay? Just step out of the car.
I'm not stepping out of the car.
You're being detained for a burglary investigation, okay, sir? So
step out. No.
Do you live in the area?
I'm not answering any questions. I want my lawyer.
Okay. Step out of the car. You're being detained right now.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry to interrupt it because this is such a good video. Salinas versus Texas. The law is that you have to say the words. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You can't just say, I don't answer questions. That's why I teach you to use the trifold with your camera. You say, I don't answer questions. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Salinas versus Texas. I've taught it all week long. I showed the case law all week long. Please say the words. I don't answer questions is what you learned from YouTubers. Now there's a constitutional law scholar here teaching you. You have to say the words. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. The words have to be stated. If it's not on camera, it didn't happen.
Sit by the car.
Sir.
Step on out, dude. You're on camera, dude, so don't do anything dumb, okay?
Hold on. I'm gonna get this on camera.
Go ahead. You can record. Sit by the car, please.
Oh, he can record, but now they're grabbing him from behind.
Stop resisting, dude. Stop resisting. I'm just...
Take a look at the thumb. Take a look at the thumb. Look how hard he's just trying to comply. Look at that thumb digging. If you grab me like that, you jackboot thug pig, I've been a wrestler for 30 years. Try that without the badge and gun and a mask over your face and back up, you.
Hey, stop resisting, dude. Stop resisting.
I'm just stop resisting. No, man. He's trying to film the interaction. He's got his phone in his hand.
Okay. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Sir, you need You're being detained for a burglary investigation. No. You live in the area?
I'm not answering any questions. I want my lawyer.
Okay. You can step out, dude.
Does his car look like he's a mass murderer, or does it look like he's got his perfect push-ups? He's got a lot of crap in his car like everybody else. He has a life like you and I, and his life matters, and how he's treated matters.
Okay. Step on out, dude.
I'm gonna get this on camera.
All right, look. He's being aggressive.
Oh, shut your damn eye hole.
Stop resisting. Just come on out.
No, man.
Okay.
And I remember a third cop shows up and says, if you don't get out, I'm gonna tase you. So I'm like, oh shoot. So I relented and they put me on the blacktop of the street. They handcuffed me, they frisked me. And I remember yelling at the people at the park to record this. And I'm like yelling at them, like, I don't give you consent to touch me. And I'm like, this is crazy what's going on with me. I seriously felt like I was just being violated. It felt very dehumanizing.
If anybody's a member of Patreon and that's what you use regularly, get on over to ASD Docs Patreon. That's also Don Andre Investigations. His video, other channel, ASD Docs, was demonetized by YouTube because he exposed the corrupt Utah Supreme Court. And one of those judges was friends with someone in Google. and they got ASD Doc's channel completely demonetized. That's why he started Don Andre Investigations. He's literally a freedom fighter. Jesus. Jesus. Look at what they're doing to him. He's done nothing but try to comply.
Call your supervisor. I'm gonna chase you.
There's the neck grab. There's another pig watching this and not stopping the other pigs.
Dude.
Taser? Taser for what?
Give me your hand. Don't give me consent to touch me.
Now he's on the concrete in the sun with 3 men on top of him, sticking their knees into his back and his neck.
I don't give you consent to touch me. Don't reach. I don't give you consent.
Don't reach for what? Why don't you put those things in your pocket and just take your hands and feel him down and make sure he doesn't have a weapon and then let him stand back up?
Let go of the cuffs.
They all three have their weight on top of this person. What if he has high blood pressure like me? I'm battling it. It's a war for me right now. And if these guys did this to me, it could kill me. So watch this. Watch Ponytail on the right, far right. She's strapping up his ankles, and look how pleased she is as she does it. Now take a look just real quick. Look at his wrist. Look at the torture cuff around his wrist. At least these don't have the hinge right here between the two torture cuffs. If they have the hinge, they're even more uncomfortable. But look how he's contorting his wrist and pulling his wrist back against the metal. There's 5, 6 cops around him. Why does he have to be shackled like he's a pig going to slaughter?
Recording, bro.
Hey, look, we all have body cams. You're on recording. Trust me.
Ready?
We don't trust you, pigs. We won't get the body cam footage. We don't trust you.
Keep your hand.
Look, the guy still got his knees in him. Do you see this pig over here? He still got his knees in the man's. They got his feet strapped up. She secured it and gave everybody a look. But he's still got his knees in the back of the guy's hamstrings.
Well, you're on.
Why is he laying on the man? Get off of him.
Is your name Jamal?
His ankles are strapped together.
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
All right, cool. Makes it easy. All right, we're all locked. Okay.
Then get off of him.
On 3, guys. 1,
Get off of him.
1, 2. Just want to lift his legs.
Just stand them up, right?
Look at that. What the hell's going on in our country? Look at his ankles. Why are you doing that to him?
Stand them up. Or put them on the side. Let's just recover.
Just recover.
On his left side. There you go.
Why are his ankles bound? He never tried to run ever. He complied.
Yeah, we just pulled up on a car. I told him, hey, you'll be detained for, burglary investigation. He matched the description of a burglary suspect, and he refused to get out.
He didn't refuse to get out. You guys attacked him. He never had a chance to get out. He tried to get out of the car.
And all we did was just control holds and try to pull him out.
All we did is control holds. BS, you threw him on the ground, and then you jumped on top of him and wrapped his ankles together as though he was Kuta Kente, like a slave.
Control holds, takedown.
Control holds, and then, once we had him completely out of the car, then I just did a little takedown.
What I tell you guys before, cops will sit around and brag about how they actually got into some sort of fist fight. Pfft. Hear him? Watch him. Look how proud he is.
And then, once we had him completely out of the car, then I just did a little takedown to the ground.
Cool.
And team hands, that's pretty much it.
So once he was on down, that's when they showed up?
No, I think I think Bachler helped me
Pigs.
out. Okay. Well, he was, I think, just there. And I just took him down on the right-hand side. I don't know who's on his left. I don't know who's on his right. I think it was Bachler. He was out of the picture.
You said you heard a pop or what?
Yeah, I guess as soon as I try to bring his arm back, bring him out, I'm guessing as they were pulling, it was like instant.
If we take these off, are you going to cause a problem? Are you going to kick any windows out, anything like that?
I don't answer questions.
No, you have to say, I plead the Fifth Amendment. I don't answer questions, don't work. Doesn't put them against their qualified immunity. And look at that. The man is still on top of him, even though he's shackled by the ankles and the wrists. Why is that man still on top of him? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pigs around him. and this pig has to be on top of him.
That's fine.
Go to DeleteLawz.com right now with a Z. And the really good thing about this is the non-driver. When you got the non-driver 5A cop card and you're walking down the street and the cop says, hey, I demand ID from you, and he says, I have reasonable articulable suspicion, while filming, you say, I plead the Fifth Amendment, I identify as good citizen, no IDs required. Then you can read the pig the law. Hibble versus Nevada, with reasonable articulable suspicion, citizen must state how they ID, not give their ID. Do not give ID without probable cause. DeleteLawz.com with a Z.
Stand up, sir. Switch up.
But he hasn't been arrested. He's only detained. Where does that come from? The 1968 holding of Terry versus Ohio. Police have created their own policies around detainment. One of those policies is torture cuffs. The other policy is ankle straps. The other one is they get to put you in a cage, but you're not arrested. You're only detained. Thank you, Supreme Court, for completely screwing us every single time.
In Deputy Bruno de Oliveira's police report, he writes, quote, suspect's clothing description was dark clothing with a possible red shirt underneath, end quote. However, you can clearly hear in the radio traffic recording that the description for the second burglary suspect was a black male, 6'1" to 6'2", wearing a blue hat, wearing all black, and possibly wearing a red shirt underneath. Mr. Williams was wearing a maroon sweater with a dark gray t-shirt underneath and dark blue sweatpants.
When I was sitting in the back of the squad car, right, I'm expecting for them to let me go,
Right.
because I'm like, okay, they're not going to find anything incriminating on
Of course,
me, right?
of
So
course.
they're going to let me go, right? And I find out they're going to send me to jail. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this has gone from bad to worse to even more worse. This is just crazy to me.
Jamal Williams was arrested and charged with California Penal Code 69 PC, resisting an executive officer.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm an executive. I get hired to go to New York to Manhattan and open the East Coast office. I hire and fire 50 people at a time. I've ran big companies. I've raised millions of dollars for companies. An executive has dozens of skill sets.
Jamal Williams was arrested and charged with California Penal Code 69 PC, resisting an executive officer.
An executive officer? You are not an executive officer. You're a jackboot thug pig who wrongfully targeted Jamal because he was black. His name's Jamal. Isn't that perfect? And then you torture cuffed him and strapped him up by his ankles. You jumped on top of him and you showed amazing brutal brutality as your cop sat on top of him with 9 pigs sitting around. An executive goes, hold on a second. Let me check my pay structure here. I've got 9 pigs here. I'm an executive. I'm worried about what? The money, Lebowski. You hire an executive to make executive decisions to make sure your money doesn't fall out of the company. When you have 9 pigs sitting around, if you're the executive officer, then you go, hey, go home. Hey, you go home. Hey, you go home. Hey, you go home. Go do something else. Thanks for coming. Bye. Executive officer. What's that?
It would take nearly a year later before the charges against Mr. Williams were finally dismissed. Mr. Williams explained to me that following his unlawful arrest, he would file a formal complaint with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department against Deputy Bruno de Oliveira and Deputy Alexander Tavalli for violating his constitutional rights. Long story short, they investigated themselves and found no wrongdoing. On January 17th, 2022, Jamal Williams would file a civil rights lawsuit against Deputy Bruno de Oliveira and Deputy Alexander Tavalli, along with other deputies of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, citing unlawful seizure, excessive force, and failure to intervene.
Their intent was to detain you in order to figure out if you were this burglary suspect. But
Detainment is torture. Detainment is brutal, barbaric, and inhumane. Your idea of detainment, Tree Hong, is torturing me, putting men on top of my back. What are you talking about? Put me in the back of a cage, strap me up by my ankles, 9 pigs around me in public, throw me down on the concrete, face down. Eat my shorts, copper.